Joining me now, Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, member of the Finance, Judiciary, and Veteran Affairs Committees. I want to get your top-line thoughts on this.
It is disgusting. And the fact that you have Congresswoman Jayapal, who will try to draw a moral equivalence when asked about these sexual atrocities that have been committed against Israeli women. She should be listening to members of her party, like Senator Gillibrand, who understands that this is a crime. These are war crimes. What is happening to these women is a crime. What Hamas is doing is barbaric. It is indecent. And what we know, Harris, if you want to make certain that the Palestinian people, the women, are protected, you got to get rid of Hamas. Same goes if you want to protect Israeli women and children. Get rid of Hamas. These terrorist organizations are barbaric. They act like animals, and there is no human decency that they are exercising.
One of our guests on Outnumbered yesterday was saying that at the very beginning of Jayapal's comments yesterday, and I rewatched them as well, she didn't really sound convinced that she believed that any of this had happened. Her wording was of the effect of, well, if it happened. What happened to the left believing all women? I'm confused. They're going to have to lay out the rules, and they're showing us who they are. But now tell us when you lie. I mean, were they lying then or are they lying now? Don't they believe women?
Well, and don't they believe what they are seeing in photographs? And members of Congress have seen this footage. And the reports that we are hearing, women are being raped to the point of death. They are using sexual violence against women as a tool of war. And of course, the IDF is gathering all of this evidence of how women have been repeatedly raped, how their bodies are bruised, how they are bloody. And the fact that this continues to go out, we still have the UN and people on the left, and the silence of so many of these women's organizations. You know, it is time for people to say, this is wrong. This is a crime. It is a war crime. And this is why we need to make certain that Israel can do away with Hamas.
Unfettered. Do what they got to do.
Yes.
Still waiting for the UN. I mean, you heard from Jillian's report, the IDF wants the UN to send in those groups that always go in to check on victims during war, and we'll see if it happens. FBI Director Christopher Wray is back on Capitol Hill, testifying before a Senate panel conducting oversight of the Bureau's powers. This is after a House committee report found the FBI's targeting of Catholic Americans went a lot farther than we knew. Among the findings, a whistleblower says agents interviewed a priest and a choir director at a Virginia church. The report reads this way. The documents received show that the FBI singled out Americans who are pro-life, pro-family, and support the biological basis for sex and gender distinction as potential domestic terrorists. In previous testimony, Senator, Director Wray downplayed the alleged targeting of Catholics. Let's watch.
Your FBI wrote a memo talking about radical traditional Catholics. I'm just wondering if you could define it for us.
Well, what I can tell you is you're referring to the Richmond product, which was a single product by a single field office, which as soon as I found out about it, I was aghast and ordered it withdrawn and removed from FBI systems.
What kind of answers do you get when you press to figure out why this would even happen?
And we will be pressing for those answers, as well as pressing for answers on why the FBI chose not to investigate some of the reports coming from the survivors of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking ring. Also, if he is aware of what Jack Smith, as a special prosecutor, is doing on President Trump's tweets, going after people that have liked and retweeted a tweet from President Trump. So we have plenty in front of us today. We're in the process of that hearing right now in Harris. We would like to get answers on these things. He's going after domestic terrorists. What is he doing about the terrorists that are coming across the border? And instead of going after people of faith, saying they're too religious, saying they're spending too much time in their church, we want to make certain that he is focused on the terrorists coming across the southern border. The 2,000 Chinese that came across this border in the month of October illegally entered our country. People who are coming in who do not want to come here for a better life, but are coming in here to conduct harm. People that do not appreciate the rule of law that we have and hold so dear here in the United States of America.
Senator Blackburn, thank you very much for being in focus.